Hi everyone, it's Chris here from OPMC. I find that with e-commerce, it can be complex and logistically challenging as it is without further complications. When you add into the equation complex rules or legislation that restricts the way in which you can operate your e-commerce business, this can cause larger issues around process and procedure. So in this case, what I've come across is Dan Murphy's delivery rules, which are that if they are delivering to you, then you have to be there when they come, and you need to provide ID to prove that you're over 18. Now, that's very well and fine in itself, but there are some complications and restrictions around how they offer this service, which only become apparent once you've placed an order. So the first issue is that they only tell you the night before when the time frame in which they are going to deliver your package. So for most of us, especially those working from home, if you're not going to be available within that time frame and you're not going to know about it until just the night before, then it becomes difficult to plan that delivery. The second complication is that with this, if you're not there, then they won't deliver it. They will take it back and you have to reschedule the delivery. Now, with the delivery provider for Dan Murphy's, once you reschedule, you can only choose the day at which you want to reschedule to. So, in essence, you have to be available all day on that day and be at home or at the office. In this case, I think it's more relevant for the part about being at home. And if you are not there when they come, then you'll miss out on the delivery. So, how can this be solved? Because the other complication that I had here is that despite the order estimating to be delivered between 3 and 7 p.m., it was actually delivered at 11:39 a.m. So almost 3.5 hours outside of the delivery window. Now that's normally great if the courier is delivering a package from an e-commerce merchant earlier than expected. Not that I would be drinking at 11:39 a.m. in the morning, but it's always great when these things come earlier than expected. Any package from an e-commerce merchant. But the issue here is one probably of process, probably partly, and also partly to do with the delivery company, because I'm sure the delivery company has a process and that may not line up nicely with Dan Murphy's. When we tried to address this with Dan Murphy's, so in this case, I contacted Dan Murphy's last night and I said, I am not going to be available in this time window. I can't guarantee that I'll be available in this time window. Can you deliver it to the Dan Murphy's across the road from me? And they said, we cannot do that. So there would be a substantially increased convenience if I were to be able to pick it up from the Dan Murphy's across the road. Now, you may be asking, why did I not have it for pickup from the Dan Murphy's across the road in the first place? Well, that is because of a whole other issue, which is store-based stock distribution, which I will cover in another video. But essentially what that comes down to is that Dan Murphy's will not provide something at a store if it's out of stock. It will only let you pick it up from there if it's in stock at that location. So in this case, if I have purchased something from Dan Murphy's, if I want to purchase something from my local store and pick it up from there, I cannot do that if they do not have it in stock. But if they have it in stock somewhere else, they won't deliver it to my local Dan Murphy's. This is a common issue with a lot of merchants, e-commerce merchants actually, but we'll cover that in another video. But there are some challenges here. The important thing to keep in mind is if you are dealing with these logistical challenges in your e-commerce business, you really need to process them out. If you're dealing with a partner, you need to work with that partner closely to process out the issue so that it doesn't become a bother for your clients. The challenge here is that if the moment at whatever time of day correctly within the time frame stated or outside of the time frame stated that the person